Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Sutherland again, here with you, playing the 4.4 exercise Spooky Ghosts and Goblins on the double bass. And if you're not a bass player, then please change the channel and go to something else because this will be very confusing for you. Otherwise, stick with me and let's get started. Alright, so if you haven't played this already, you would want to keep watching this whole video so we can go step by step the process of all the fingerings, rhythm, and all that stuff. If you have played this already, play along with me and let's see how much you do know. And if you can play with me 100% accuracy, then you're pretty good to go. You don't have to watch the whole video like everybody else does. So, yay for you. Otherwise, let's get started. We're going to get the metronome at 60 beats per minute. And if you can play that exercise here at 60, then I think we're good to go for a while. Alright, so let's get a metronome set. Here it is, clicking. Get your bows ready, your bass ready, and let's get started. Here we go. 1, 2, set, and play. Alright, there you have it. Now, if you play no problem with me, let me change the brightness. If you played no problem with me, 100% accurate, then again, you're good to go. If that was a little bit tough for you and you were lost, probably because the screen was bright or you don't have your book, you should probably use your book, then let's continue on anyways. Let's go first and figure out the rhythm. The rhythm is what's going to be most important, and then we'll figure out the fingerings and the notes, and that'll help us get the bow technique and everything else above that. Let's start from the very basic stuff first. Let's go and figure out the rhythm. If you remember the rhythm and how to clap and count, that's what we're going to do right now. So let's put down our basses, put down our bows, get that out of the way, and let's get our metronome set back at 60 beats per minute. Here it is. Now I'm going to snap for the clap. And I'll point to the note that we're counting for, and I'm going to sing it as if we're using the dynamics. That's the kind of part of this lesson is using dynamics. And we'll go over that in just a second. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, rest. 3, rest. Alright, so, oh, sorry, that didn't turn off. So the basic concept here that we're trying to remember is not just the rhythm part, but the dynamics part. Dynamics, it refers to how loud and soft you play with the instrument or sing if you're a choir person. In this case, our instrument, the bass. And to play a different dynamic, loud or soft, we also have an indicator for that for the musician to read, and that is what we learned so far, at least 2 basic ones. Piano, which is labeled by a P, which is at the beginning here, and forte, which is labeled by an F, which means play loudly. So P, piano, means soft, play light and quiet, and then F, forte, play strong and loud, okay? Now, to play that on the instrument, piano is with a light, soft bow and using very little movement on the string with the bow. And to play forte, we use more of aggressive movement with the bow, a little bit faster, and using a little bit more pressure, okay? We don't ever want to press too hard on the bow because then we might end up pressing other strings or getting flat, which is an interesting phenomenon. Now, another thing to remember when using dynamics is that wherever the dynamic is placed at, that little marking like P, if it's placed at the beginning, and that means that it tells you to play piano, not only just for that one note or that one measure, but for the entirety of the music until you see something different. And so that, in this case, we have piano written here at the very beginning, and we're going to continue to play quietly or piano for 3 measures here, because for 3 measures there's no other dynamic marking until we get to measure 4, which has a F for forte. And then we play measure 4, forte or loudly. Now, we only play for that measure loudly. Not because of some weird rule, no, because when you get to measure 5, we change dynamics again back to piano playing soft. So in this case, measure 4 is only play loud, and then we go back to piano. And in this case, we also go for another 3 measures and about a beat to play piano. Now I say 3 measures and a beat because when we get to measure 8, we don't have a dynamic marking for measure 8 at the very beginning. We have it actually later on. Now that means that that first note here is still played piano because there's nothing else before it to indicate to play any differently. Then we get after this note a rest and then a dynamic marking for forte, telling us that this note is actually played forte. And then if there was other notes after that, all those notes will also be played forte. But there's a rest, so we're quiet, which is no sound whatsoever. So let's try clapping and counting again with the dynamics in our inflections on our voice, just like as if we're singing it, okay? So we're going to start singing quietly for piano and then loudly for forte. Here we go. Ready? 1 and 2 and clap and count. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, rest. 3, rest. And that would be how you would sing that, counting at least, okay? So now let's try and figure out the pitches, all right? That is our next step because we have to know the fingerings and the pitches as well. If you haven't done so already, please label them along with me, okay? We're going to start with a blue here, and we're going to look at the top line. The very first pitch we're playing is an E. So we're going to label the very bottom below that E to remind us that it's a pitch E. First finger on the D string, so we're right number 1 above that, okay? The next note we play is also an E, and then an E, and E again. We play that 4 times, so I'm not going to write it again. We already know that those 4 eighth notes are all E's. Next, we have a chord note, F sharp. F sharp. Why not just F? Well, because in the key signature, we see here a sharp sign on the F line, meaning that all the F's are going to be sharp now. Okay? Let's erase that, get that out of the way, not confuse ourselves. All right, so that's F sharp. How do you play that on the bass? Well, that's 4 fingers on the D string. So we'll put a number 4 right above that note. The following note is a B. All right, B. And that's going to be on the G string, 4 fingers as well. So we're going to hop from 4 fingers to 4 fingers. Moving on to measure 2. These first 4 pitches, poor grammar, I'm sorry, is E. Also, first finger on the D string. Continuing on, it's already written for us, a second finger. What pitch is that? Well, if you refer back to your G major scale, you would know already that that's the second finger. That's between the first and second tape on the A string for C. All right? Then you will play the next note, B, which is 1 finger. So we go from 2 to 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. All right? Moving on to measure 3. Measure 3, the first pitch here is again E, first finger. And it already has the fingerings for us. In this case, it tells us we're going to shift to second position to play F sharp, 2 fingers, G, 4th finger, and back down to first position, which is indicated here with the Roman numeral 1, first finger E. All right, so we play E, slide up to second position, second finger F sharp, 4th finger G, and back down to first position, 1 finger E. We'll practice that a little bit later. Next, we're going to go to, still in first position because nothing else is indicated yet, 4th finger B. Then we go and slur down to a 1 finger A. Following that, it's already indicated for us that we shift to second position, and that is a G, like indicated earlier here. 4th finger, and then down to a first finger, F sharp, still in second position. I'm sorry. Yes, second finger. There should be a 2, not a 1. They had a typo there in this exercise. All right. Let's move on to measure 5. Back down to piano. These are the same exact notes that we had earlier in first position at the very first measure, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Let's get a different color marker so we can not get everything confused with the same color pitch. Move those up a little bit. Get those out of the way. All right, let's get red. All right, it's already indicated here at measure 6 that we are in third position, going for a high D. That's a fourth finger high D. Down, played twice, down to a second finger, C sharp, still in third position, C sharp. Then we slide back down to first position, fourth finger, B. So we're going to slide from D, D, C sharp, slide back down to fourth finger B at the very G string, very first position. Sorry, indicated right here. Measure 7. We're going to go to one finger A, played 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Then next we have G, which is going to be open string, actually, so we'll put a 0 for that. Down to an F sharp, fourth finger on the E string, and then we'll play one finger E, and then one finger E at the very end. Great. If you haven't done so already, please mark all your music like I have here. And otherwise, just pause the video as I am here. See if you can pause me at a really good, funny spot. Good. If you paused it, then you're ready to go. Moving on, I'm going to erase everything that's on the board so it doesn't get too confusing. And we're going to go one measure at a time, reviewing all the fingerings and bows, skills, and all that stuff. All right, here it is all erased. Let's get my stool back in place. And let's get my bass back up here in view. And let's get your bass, too, in playing position. Alrighty then. We're going to make sure that we got the technique down for at least the notes and the rhythm. Okay, so the fingerings and the notes first, and we're going to pluck and sing those notes. Again, the rhythm for the very first measure is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. We're going to try plucking with our bows in hand, ready to go, so that way we're ready to bow right afterwards, don't have to worry about it. Let's get up here in playing position and play measure 1 at this tempo. 1, 2, sing and pluck. E, 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 F sharp, B. Try it again. 1 and 2 and set and pluck. E, 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 F sharp, B. If you got that, let's move on. Let's add the bow. Don't worry about the staccato or the light bow, anything. Just play normally so we can at least get the fingerings and the rhythm right. 1 and 2 and set and play and. All right. If you got that, great. Let's move on and let's add dynamics. We're going to play quietly and soft. So with a light touch and barely moving the bow, you'll hear a big significant difference. All right. 1 and 2 and lightly bow. It was very quiet that time. The next thing we're going to add is playing staccato bowing. When you play staccato bowing, we got to use a little bit of bow at one time and lightly and gently lift it off the string, okay? Without lifting it too far away, keeping it right above the string to go back the opposite direction for détaché. So let's play that again and use the 2 quarter notes that are marked here with a dot above the note heads. Staccato, meaning to bow shortly. It does not mean to bow any faster. The rhythm is still the same. Okay, those are 2 separate things. Here we go. Light and short staccatos. 1 and 2 and set and play and. All right, if you got that, let's move on to the next measure. We're going to go down E, 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 2 C, 1 B, down to the A string. Let's pluck it and sing it first. 1 and 2 and sing and pluck. E, 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 C, B. Let's try it again. 1 and 2 and sing and pluck. E, 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 C, B. If you got that, let's add the bow. Let's try making sure we keep both ideas, concepts together. Playing piano, lightly and soft, and then using a light touch for the staccatos, all right? Not playing faster, just making them shorter on the quarter notes. 1 and 2 and ready, play. Try again. 1, 2, ready, and. All right. If you got that, let's move on. Looking at measure 3, we have 4 staccato quarter notes. Again, they're not played faster, they're just played shorter, and we're still at piano. We're playing E, sliding up to second position, F sharp with 2 fingers, 4 fingers G, sliding back down to first position E. Let's pluck and sing that. 1, 2, ready, and go. E, F sharp, G, E. Let's bow it. Staccato, light and soft. Ready, and go. E, F sharp, G, E. 1, 2, again, and bow. E, F sharp, G, E. The big advantage about playing staccato, going in different positions, is you have to worry about hearing that sliding between the bowing positions, but it's pretty good. All right, going now to measure 4. This is where it gets kind of tricky. We're playing the first 2 pitches, quarter notes, but they're not staccato now, they're slurred, and they're all in one direction. So we're playing a 4th finger B down to a 1 finger A, and we're going to bow both of them in a down bow as marked here with a little bracket above the note. So let's try just playing those first 2 notes real quick. 4th finger to 1 finger A. Make sure you keep the speed between your fingers the same. And now we're playing forte, so keep the bow speed a little bit faster, but the fingers moving slower. It's going to be a little tricky concept. Let's see if we can keep it together. 1, 2, ready, and B, A. Ready, again. B, A. Maybe put the bow a little bit higher, even though it's not supposed to do that, so you can see it. B, A. All right? Then we got to go and alternate to a different string and up bow G, F sharp in second position. So we got to do a lot of things at one time. Let's just play that G to F sharp separately at first, starting from the tip of our bow, playing forte, and going from 4 to 2, G to F sharp. 1, 2, ready, and G, F sharp. Try again. 1, 2, ready, and G, F sharp. Now let's put both those pairs, those 4 quarter notes together, bowing the first 2 down, the second 2 up. 1, 2, slowly, and B, A, G, F sharp. 1, 2, again, and play. G, A, G, F sharp. Sorry, B, A, G, F sharp. All right, if you got that, good. If not, slow it down a little bit further for yourself, and then continue on with me later on this video. All right, moving on to the measure 5. Oh, we already did measure 5 because that was measure 1 as well. Just repeat it again. Let's go to measure 6, where we go to a high D. Let's pluck and sing measure 6 real quick. Again, it's D, D, third position, 4th finger, C sharp, 2 fingers in 3rd position, sliding down to 2 B quarter notes, 4th finger in 1st position. Here we go, in rhythm. Let's sing and play it. Sing and pluck it. Ready, and go. D, D, C sharp, B, B. Again, ready, and play. D, D, C sharp, B, B. Great. If you got that, let's add bow to it. Now we're still playing piano. It's a natural tendency to want to play louder on the higher notes, but please be careful not to go too fast on there because it'll be easier to play louder the shorter the string gets. All right? So keep it piano and make sure that the 2 B's are played staccato. 1 and 2 and set and bow. 1 and 2, again, and bow. Great, if you got that, let's move on. Measure 7. Our rhythm here is 1st finger A, 1, 2, G, 1 and 4, or 3 and 4 to F sharp fourth finger. Here we go. Pluck and sing. 2, sing and pluck. A, G, G, F sharp. Try again. Ready? And sing and pluck. A, G, G, F sharp. Great. We're still playing piano, so let's add our bow and make those 2 quarter notes again staccato. Long, long, short. Long, long, short. There you go. 1 and 2 and set and play. A, G, G, F sharp. 1, 2, again and play. Great. And then, of course, the very last measure is a down bow E, piano, and the retake above the second beat with his arrest, and then a very forte E staccato, and just lift it off the string very quickly. All right. So that's each measure, each note, each fingering put one at a time. And now let's try to put it all together a little bit slower than when we started at the beginning. Just a little bit slower, at 55 beats per minute. Let's set our metronome down. Get the 8th beat click as well, or 8th note click as well, so we feel the separation. 1 and 2 and. Let's get our bows ready, playing position. Let's play the entire thing as it's supposed to be played. Here we go, from the top. With dynamics and staccato bowing. 1 and 2 and set and play and. Good, let's try one more time. I had a little mess up there. Great, you ready to play? Let's try it again. Ready to play? Let's go. 1, 2, and set and play. All right, with your instruments ready, let's get to playing. 1 and 2 and set and play. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know via email, or I'll see you at school later. Hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.